good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Dawn Patrol. I'm Cliff Krieger, your host. I'm here trapped between two beautiful women, one of whom you can't see. So that would be Eileen Delrossi. Say hello, Eileen.
Good morning.
Thank you. And Regina Faticanti.
Good morning.
And then on the other side, we have John McDonough.
Good morning.
So the national debt's at 38 decimal, let's call it
Cliff,
3 trillion.
before I put the mics on, I talked about the temperature. So the temperature in Belvedere is what?
Excuse me, that's the next line. The low
Okay,
was 4.
okay, well, you know, I
and
would
the
think
high
that
is 28,
would be on the top of the
but
list,
driving
Cliff.
here,
Then when
it's
Balboa
11, but no
was renamed.
precipitation.
So you can restart, Cliff, because I talked all over you.
All right. So, the national debt's up over $38 trillion. I'm reading a book about the collapse of the Weimar Republic.
We don't care.
I don't care that you don't care. So, the temperature, the low is 4, high will be 28, no precipitation. It was 11 when I drove in. Eileen says up on Christian Hill it's 6. So that's something.
And in the backyard here, it's 5.
It's chilly.
Yeah, my phone's even a little frozen.
In the year 1766, in London, auctioneer James Christie holds his first sale.
So hence we got the name Christie's Auction
Yeah.
House, all right? That
Yeah.
was, I learned something new.
In 1770, the 29th Regiment of Foot, Private Hugh Montgomery and Matthew Kirby are found guilty for the manslaughter of Crispin Attucks and Samuel Gray in the Boston Massacre.
Why did they massacre them?
Well, I don't think it was really a massacre. It's only a couple of people, but the British Army killed a couple of Boston citizens, and it got blown up as one of the reasons for the revolution.
Yay.
And
Well-
why we're not Brits.
It's not yay that people died, but yay that a
Closer microphone.
yay that a ragtag band of farmers decided to take on this battle and then win us our freedom.
Can you imagine if we couldn't have had guns back then? Would be Brits.
Well, they didn't want us to have guns back then. That was part of the issue. And that's why we have the Second Amendment, because the English didn't want us to have guns. And we said, oh no, when we wrote our Constitution, we are allowed to have guns because the Brits didn't want us to have guns because they didn't want us to fight back. And the Second Amendment became such a big deal when we started to write the Constitution.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Okay, in 1775, at Fort Ticonderoga, Henry Knox begins his historic transport of artillery to Cambridge, Massachusetts. This is a big day in American Revolution. Okay. 1831, former U.S. President John Quincy Adams takes his seat in the House of Representatives. Go ahead.
Can I ask you, have you ever read Brian Mead's books that starts, the first one is this, Washington's Secret Six?
No?
Because I think you'd love them. So Brian, you know who Brian Mead is. He's a writer, he's a columnist, but he does a series of books, and the first one is Washington's Secret Six. And he talks about how Washington knows he's not going to win unless he has spies. So he convenes 6 people, but he never tells anybody their names, except the 6 know who each are. One's a tavern owner, one owns this business here, one owns this business, and they're spread throughout New England. And they own businesses where the Brits congregate and they talk. Because Washington knew unless he became aware of the Brits' movements, we'd never win. And one of them was a woman. And her name was so highly guarded because Washington and the other 5 knew if the Brits knew who she was, they would kill her immediately and probably torture her. The book is fascinating, and it explains how Washington got the information needed to win the war. I think you'd love it.
Yeah, it sounds fascinating.
Brian Kilmeade, Washington's Secret Six. Brian
Yeah.
Kilmeade. You know who I'm sorry, I got the name wrong. But it's a fascinating book about how Washington won the war with 6 spies.
I came across a book over the weekend, which I haven't purchased yet. How many books can you read in a lifetime?
I know, I got a big stack.
It's the 70,000 American citizens who, at the end of the Revolutionary War, left, went to Canada, went all sorts of places.
And why did they leave?
Oh, because they were loyal to the king.
And Cliff, some of those people went to places like Westford and Littleton and Groton because they wanted to, and Drake, okay, I didn't know Drake it too, because they wanted to hide out. They wanted to be undercover. They didn't want anyone to know that they had been loyal to the king.
Ah.
John, I didn't know Drake it.
Drake?
Yes. Hence, was that the reason for the split?
Tingsboro too.
Yes, because Tingsboro, Colonel Ting. I didn't know about Drake it. Thank you.
Well, the king owned everything.
Right. So, but I didn't know, but Tingsboro, I knew Colonel Ting owned, started Tingsboro.
Well, it's Dracut. They have a weird spelling on their flag.
Oh, really?
If you ever go to a Drake-it meeting, pull a flag out and see how they spell Drake-it on the
Okay,
flag.
Dracut?
Yeah.
All right.
I thought where you were going with the secret and all was when John Quincy Adams went back into the House of Representatives. He had a lot of power, and the reason is he knew the place in the Capitol building where all the sound gathered. So it goes up, the acoustics goes up, hits the dome, comes down. His desk was where the sound sort of congregated. So he
was
knew
no
what other
fool.
people
Have you
were
been to
talking
that
about.
spot, Cliff?
Have I been to it?
Have you been to that spot?
Yeah, I think so.
It's in the middle of the room.
It
It's
is?
unlikely his desk was there.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm just asking, were you in that, did you stand in that spot?
Yeah, I did, and it was not the middle of the room.
Okay.
It
Well,
was
they
just
showed
some
us-
strange acoustics.
They showed us the center of the room.
So
Okay.
there's
I had a bad tour guide.
there's a movie, and in the movie, Nicolas Cage was in the movie. He was trying to find some gold and silver that had been taken and collected by a group of people, and he finds that secret spot. You're right, it was in some kind of alcove.
Yeah.
Yep, in this movie it was. Okay, all right.
It's interesting. By the way, in 1847 on this day, one of the most famous Democrats was elected to the U.S. Senate, Jefferson Davis.
And what did he do?
What did he? He went on to be president. The worst
So I missed
Democratic
that one.
president in the history of the United States.
Okay, so I can name some people not too long ago that held the Democratic presidency that were pretty, not that great, in my opinion. Why would you call him the worst?
Well, because he led the secession
Oh,
in 1860,
okay.
61. Oh, well.
in 1933, the repeal of Prohibition,
Yeah.
which strictly so Prohibition, I don't want the Irish to drink, because the Irish work in my house, the Irish work in my barns, the Irish work in my farms, and I don't like their lifestyle. From our WASPs, white, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant forefathers and foremothers, right? So I'm going to start Prohibition because I don't like the Irish lifestyle. I don't like the fact that they gather on Friday night or Saturday night, they sing, they dance, they come together, they congregate, they bring their children, and yes, because they want to spread and maintain their culture with one another. And our WASP forefathers and foremothers didn't understand that. And so hence the beginning of Prohibition. But then some people got smart and said, Prohibition not working. Prohibition actually got some people very rich.
Yeah. Like the Kennedys?
Thank you. The tax stamp on Scotch. Thank you. Appreciate that very much, Cliff. It got the Kennedys very rich. Yes, it did. And when I tell that story in class, nobody believes me. Right? But Joe was a smart guy. Give me a tax stamp. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, why didn't they want the Irish to have fun with their family?
Well, so let's remember what the WASP philosophy was. All work, no play. All work, no play makes a good WASP, right? So WASP, white, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant. Our forefathers and foremothers, the Pilgrims, right? And I understand their philosophy. They came here, they landed, and everybody had to work to survive. And the reason why our country's the strongest on the earth is that philosophy. So I can't disagree with the philosophy. But now along come the Irish, and they have a bit of a different philosophy towards life. Yes, they work, but they congregate with their families. They drink a little beer and have a little whiskey on a Friday or Saturday night. They dance, they bring out an accordion and a banjo, they sing, they meet one another, they congregate, they continue their culture. The WASPs looked at that and said, what is this? What is this? It is so completely different from their own culture. They said, no. And the root of that evil is alcohol. So we are going to ban alcohol, and if we ban alcohol, then there'll be no reason for them to congregate. I don't think that they got that the Irish didn't congregate because of alcohol. The Irish congregated because of culture. Because it was a way to maintain their culture in the New World. And trust me, inmates can make hooch in the jail cell. And if they can make hooch in the jail cell, the Irish could figure out how to take a potato and do the same thing, which is what they did. Okay? So
Interesting.
it was a backslap to the Irish culture. And I don't want you to be late coming into work to my house on Saturday or Sunday morning because you drank too much the night before. Because the WASPs, they might have a little sherry or a little glass of wine at dinner. Their philosophy to alcohol was very different.
Some of them, none.
Thank you.
Wait a second now. A lot of these pilgrims got fall down drunk.
Absolutely.
Every single night.
You're right.
So putting them like they were wonderful people. And
You're right.
They were murderers. They were drunks. So.
But we're talking a couple hundred years later.
And there was no TV, no radio.
That's why.
No internet, no phones.
So, but we're talking a couple hundred years later when the sheen, the sheen is now on the rose, and we want to portray a different.
Well, the winners of the war write the rules, write the history. They write the history.
Yeah, thank you. You're 100% correct.
Excuse me.
So in city life terminology today,
Yes.
would Cliff be the WASP, and then you, Regina, John, and myself would be the Irish, basically, because we like to have fun and get Cliff off track.
And yes, in today's terminology, that would be correct. But but Cliff would never stop us from having fun, because I've heard Cliff's wife talk about when Cliff and her were younger, and you'd be surprised.
Someday, if Cliff's in the right mood, he'll tell you the Key Club story.
I could tell that, but I'm not going to.
He just looks like, if we have too much fun, he looks like he may start red steam may start coming out of his ears.
Yeah, so zip. But that was the part of the reason for prohibition. I don't like your lifestyle. I don't like the way you handle yourself. So I'm going to renounce alcohol. And Cliff also started to say that there was a secondary reason. Cliff, what was that reason?
It's totally escaped me, but
No, because we don't like alcohol.
We need
Yeah.
a little more mic, Cliff. No, Cliff.
We don't
oh,
like alcohol. We forbid the use of alcohol.
yeah. But it's widespread. I mean, Baptist churches today, when they do communion, they use grape juice.
Yes.
They use what?
Grape juice, not wine,
How come?
because they're against alcohol.
What did Jesus use?
He used recently crushed grapes.
That hadn't fermented yet.
No, he used wine.
Thank you.
I know you like to misrepresent things. That's a bad habit, Cliff.
I do not misrepresent things.
Christ used wine.
On the other hand, we have a lot of Baptists out there who say that no, he didn't. I think they're wrong, but
Look at the pictures of the Last Supper. You see any grape crushers there?
Joe, excuse me, how many pictures of the Last Supper have you seen?
Millions. I'll go to Google.
Well, you've been to the Vatican, right, John?
I've been to Vatican. I have been in the upper room where they had the Last Supper.
Okay, so
In
John,
Israel.
John's been there. Okay.
Been there, done
Been there,
that.
done that. Okay, so he can talk with great authority about the situation, about it.
Well, the
But
table's long
What
gone.
impresses me is that Kodak did such a good job inventing photography. You know? Oh well. All we have are paintings, which are what people think happened.
Well, paintings based on writings. Is that,
Just pick one, and I'll see if they have any grapes on the table.
oh, that middle one right there with G,
This one
with
right
every,
here?
you know, in the blue, the one above, John, the
This guy?
Wikimedia. Yep, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful.
See if it gets big. Well, looking for the grapes. See if it gets big.
Lovely
As big
photo.
as it's going to get, kids. Look, they have these little goblets on the table. See the little goblets? What was this, salt and pepper? Yeah, I'm going to make this bigger.
See if you can get the Salvador Dali version of the Last Supper.
There's no wine glasses on the table, or wine goblets on
I'm
the
not
table?
going to focus on the pagans today, Cliff.
What pagan?
Salvatore Supper? Sounds like an Italian.
Salvador Dali.
Was a great painter.
Oh, we're going to blow this one here up.
I've got a copy of it in my
I see
hallway.
no grapes on the table. I see no wine on the table.
I do. The guy these three guys here on to my left, I see a goblet, I see wine.
Look at, Regina, these look like pancakes. That could be maple syrup.
No, the
Does
guy.
that look like pancakes to you?
No, it's unleavened bread. I see wine
They
in
could've
a.
put maple syrup on unleavened bread. Have you tasted unleavened bread?
No, I have not, but I do see wine over here on this end of the
It
table.
needs help. So, Cliff, I'm going to go back to Google here. Now, who am I looking for?
Salvador Dali, Last Supper.
Salvadore
Yeah.
Dali.
Look at this first one, Salvador Dali, Last Supper.
Yep. Oh, you got it.
This it?
Yep.
We'll see if we can make it big. They want $2,900 for it.
Ah, yeah, that's,
How much do they
Wow.
want for it, John?
$2,900.
Okay. Not today.
I'm not liking it, Cliff. Is that a blondie in the middle there?
Can we?
Looks like a Hollywood movie star. Looks like a blondie in the middle.
Well, there's some, and let me throw this out to the both of
I
you.
think this is sacrilegious, Cliff.
There's some that say that Mary Magdalene, who was Jesus' wife, is sitting next to him at the Last Supper. And hence, the person to his side with the long hair is actually her. Well, I don't think I like that one.
So, Cliff, where are the grapes?
Where's the wine?
Ba-dum, ba-dink, ba-
Okay, there's the wine.
wine. Where's the grapes, Cliff?
I don't know.
So why did you call this up with the blondie?
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
think I like
because
this.
I like this representation because it captures a lot of things. The presence in the upper center I see is the Holy Spirit. You see fishing boats out on the lake representing Jesus.
I see a boat here.
As a fisher of men, okay?
As a fisherman,
I see
yeah.
a fishing boat over to my right.
See another boat? I didn't see the other boat.
Is that a boat or is that a dock?
I don't know. Anyway,
Okay,
I like this painting.
So who's the blondie?
I think that's Jesus.
No, that's for Cliff.
Sorry,
Who's the blondie?
Yeah, right here.
That's Jesus.
That's Jesus was the blondie. That's not the guy I see on YouTube.
All right.
All right, back to you, Cliff.
There's
Yeah.
a whole edition
think
of
they
the
were drinking-
Bible, Jerusalem Bible, I think, with Salvador Dali illustrations. Today in 1945, Flight 19, a group of TBF Avengers disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle.
so Cliff, was this the first time somebody has disappeared in
No.
that area? No. So tell me, as a pilot, you know better than anyone, there's some type of aeronautical issue, wind or climate, that causes the Bermuda Triangle to be such a dangerous place to drive, to fly through. What is it?
I think it's weather,
Okay. So
but
what,
other people think it may be space aliens.
I don't know what it is, but I never want to, I never want to experience driving through it because so many people have disappeared in it.
Boats, airplanes?
Here's a good question from the audience. And it says, since we're talking about food, what would you have at your Last Supper? I'd have prime rib. What would you have, Cliff?
Also buco,
I
which is
didn't ask
veal.
you yet, Regina. Cliff's on the docket.
I haven't thought about it, but probably a ground round mashed potatoes and succotash.
Okay.
Regina, what do you want?
Also buco, it's a veal dish.
Okay. So there you have it. You got your answers. Thank you.
1952, beginning of the Great Smog in London. It was a cold fog combined with pollution, and it's believed to have killed a lot of people. 4,000 fatalities reported by the Ministry of Health.
So explain to me, how did that kill 4,000 people?
No communication. What year was it, Cliff?
1952.
If you weren't home, you wouldn't know anything was going on. How would you get the news if you're on the road?
1952? Let's see, we were still listening to the radio.
Not in the car.
We didn't have a car.
So how would you get the news? If you were at work, how would you get the news? Was the radio on at work?
Well, I was 10 years old, so I wasn't at work, and the radio was in the kitchen,
Was it on all
to
the
the
time?
left of the sink. What? Was it on what?
Was it on all the time?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
We listened to H.B.
So your mother would
Kaltenborn.
know, but your father wouldn't?
He'd know from reading the newspaper. That
The
was back when
newspapers-
Philly had 2 newspapers.
The newspaper's yesterday's news, always has been. Not picking on the newspapers, that's just the reality of the thing.
It is what it is. Anyway, smog was an issue for us because we're from Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and they had smog. Smog is fog combined with industrial pollution, and it gets in people's lungs and makes it hard for them to breathe.
Oh, I understand. Okay, I didn't understand that. Thank you.
Speaking of hard to breathe, driving in, they were telling a story on the radio of 3 little kids in a school south of Richmond, like first graders, and their teacher was having a snack and choked. One of the kids went and hit the button and called the main office. One kid ran out, got another teacher to bring him in, and the third kid kept beating on her back until she coughed up the
Oh my gosh.
problem. So those 3
Three
kids are
kids.
being
Yeah.
rewarded.
I imagine so. Good for them.
So in 1994, the Budapest Memorandum was signed at a conference in Budapest, Hungary, and this is where countries like Russia, U.S., England, France promised to protect Ukraine if Ukraine gives up its nuclear weapons. Oh, well.
Don't give up your nukes.
No.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton proved that to us. Today, in 1839, was the birthday of George Armstrong Custer, who made general pretty quickly. In 1901, Walt Disney was born on this day.
There's a guy who left a mark on the world, isn't
Oh
he?
gosh, absolutely, John.
And today, in 1870, Alexandre Dumas, French novelist, passed away. 3 Musketeers, Count of Monte Cristo, those kinds of things.
Oh, okay.
And in 2013, Nelson Mandela, first president of South Africa, passed away.
How long was he imprisoned?
Oh, I don't know, 10,
20
15 years?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, did you see the arrest in Woodbridge, Virginia of the alleged pipe bomber from 5 Jan 2001?
Yes. So what's amazing to me is that the FBI had how many years to make an arrest? And it took Kash Patel, 8 months?
Yeah.
9 months? And he figured it out and he made an arrest? Shame on the previous administration that sat on their thumbs and didn't do anything. Did not figure out who this pipe bomber was. If Kash Patel could figure it out in 8 months, what were they doing in 4 years?
They made over 1,000 different inquiries, the previous administration.
Okay,
But they didn't get down to the granular and figure it out.
right, they did not.
And nice house this guy was living in with his family. He's 30 years old. Family is a bail bonds business. Very nice house.
Hey, Cliff, why don't you copy and paste your notes into the email that you send people?
I used to do that, and then
Because it takes up unnecessary storage on your drive.
okay.
See, if you copy and paste into email, it stays on the email drive. Just, I get so many newsletters from people, and they're like, here's the hottest news. I have to download their file. Robbing space on my drive of something I'm gonna look at once and never look at again. So that's why I just asked, is there a reason?
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
But why he did it, still a little unknown. He's an anarchist,
Oh, he is?
supposedly, living in a nice middle-class, upper-middle-class suburb.
So if he's an anarchist, why isn't he living in some hut in the woods?
I don't know.
But he's clearly enjoying a wonderful, lovely,
you're-
middle-class lifestyle,
You're focusing on some guy from Illinois.
right? You're right. Yep, you're right.
He's a Harvard graduate,
I know. Unbelievable.
you know. And I can't remember his name. My wife's cousin was from the same town. And
Unabomber?
the Unabomber, and was at Harvard with him. I don't think he
He was
knew him.
brilliant.
Yeah.
He was a brilliant man. Can we talk about the two National Guardsmen that were shot?
You want to jump ahead, okay?
Okay, and then we can go back
Well, that's
because,
coming up. That's coming up.
Okay. So, one was killed,
yes,
one lived.
yes.
A guy, an Afghan refugee with a wife and 5 kids.
On welfare.
I'm thinking he must have been married before he got here. Anyway, drove all the way from Washington State to D.C. to shoot 2 people randomly. So,
What was his issue?
you see, I don't think we really know. He could have been radicalized, as they say, brought into the jihadi faith. On the other hand, the theory's been put forward that the folks back in Afghanistan threatened to kill his family back in Afghanistan if he didn't do this.
Oh, okay.
So there's a possibility.
That is a possibility. I have not heard that yet. I figured you would have more ears to the ground than I would. That's why I wanted to ask before we got too much further, what your take was on why he did this. Because he actually was on our side during the Afghan
Yes.
War. He worked with the CIA. He was clearly with us during that war. He did several different things for the United States, and hence, that's why we brought him over.
Exactly, and rightfully so.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. Anybody who was on the side of the U.S., who helped us during that time, absolutely should come over. Because you know they're going to be killed if they're not coming over. Because once the Afghans find these people, they'll kill them. And we cannot leave them as sitting ducks. I 100% agree. But now what you're saying to me makes a lot of sense. I didn't think of that angle. We're going to kill your family here unless you do this. Because it doesn't make sense for this man who has now been given the most incredible opportunity to live in America, to raise his children here in America, for his children to go to American schools, to drive from Washington State
Wait.
to kill somebody.
Go to American schools.
Do you think the quality of education in Afghanistan for girls is the same as the quality of education here?
No.
Absolutely. Because there is no quality of education for girls in Afghanistan,
That's true.
right?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Was
not
for a
anymore.
while. But the U.S. school system,
Better than their school system.
Yeah.
All right, so Eileen will talk to us about the U.S. school system.
Regina, read this one, please.
Do you really think the FBI has the right guy? The FBI whistleblower says they got the wrong guy. Remember Richard Jewell? Oh, I remember Richard Jewell. Absolutely.
Who's Richard Jewell?
So Richard Jewell was he was a volunteer during it was at the Olympics,
Yes.
and
Down in Atlanta.
there was a bombing, and all of a sudden, and they needed to get someone to blame, so they arrested Richard Jewell. Richard Jewell had absolutely nothing to do with this bombing, but the FBI ruined this man's life. They ruined his life. And then when it came to light that Richard Jewell was not the guy, they went, whoopsie, whoa, we made a mistake. Sorry, Richard, but we now find out who the right guy. Now,
Ask Eileen to stop that.
Eileen,
Yes, I'm
What-
here.
what are
What
you
are we
doing?
talking about?
Talking about-
Doing is coming across the TV.
so Eileen, whatever you're doing is coming across.
Oh, hold on.
Okay. So
Let me go in there.
what's interesting is that I don't remember the real bomber's name.
Neither do I.
Okay, because all I remember is Richard Jewell, because they ruined the man's life. Now, here's what they did do. Richard Jewell had always wanted to be a police officer, so they said, oh, we're going to get you onto the police force in Atlanta. Now, I don't remember what it was, John, maybe you can look it up. I think Richard Jewell has passed away. I'm not sure the circumstance, but his life was ruined. He's always going to be
The
convicted.
problem is when the cops think they got the culprit, all investigation stops.
That, you're right.
Oh, no, we kept looking. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. You're right. Dennis Mahar, originally from Lowell, still has family here in Lowell. A rape occurred in Lowell by a man wearing a gray hoodie. Dennis Mahar was in the Air Force, living at the base. He was a parachutist and going to make the Air Force his career.
Regina, I'm going to stop you right there. I don't want to hear any little stories about Lowellians using names, so we're going to leave it right there.
Well, he was
We're going to leave it
Okay.
right there. Thank you.
he was not guilty.
We're going to leave it right there. Thank you.
He was on the show with us.
Let him come in and tell his own story.
Okay. But the point is, somebody was accused, somebody was absolutely not guilty. Richard Jewell, not guilty.
Well, I can go way back with the fire department. Way back with the fire department. Fire department just had just said it was an electrical fire that started this building on fire. It's terrible that all these people died in the building. So I'm over there with my colleagues, making these real graphic, terrible things to see, to remove the remains of a fire, until the very last victim had a knife stuck in his heart.
Oh,
So the fire department immediately changed to arson.
you think?
But they had already said, oh, it's electrical fire, it's electrical fire. But it's a long, long time ago. But authorities, as soon as they find the first thing, oh, it's right here, here's the cause, they move on.
Right, and there's such a political pressure on that too, I believe, that they need a certain person to be the one that did this or
Well,
that.
because the public is in an uproar, they want somebody caught.
Yeah.
They need someone to point the finger
They
at.
think the public's in an uproar, the public doesn't care.
Oh, yes, it does.
Yeah, it does.
No, they don't.
When it's a big crime, like murder, rape, a fire like that, John, like you're describing, which must have been horrific for you, to see that, Yeah, and other people have lost loved ones, yeah, the public cares. At least some members of the public do.
I think they just think the police will do their job. This is terrible.
All right. Moving
That
on.
I just wanted to mention that New York, I'm not sure what park it was, the horrible rape and murder that occurred, and the 5 young boys
Yes.
that were arrested for it.
Uh-huh.
Like, I watched that Netflix documentary, and it was heartbreaking.
And they didn't do it.
No?
Nope.
Their lives were ruined. They're trying to put the pieces back together now. But, and again, there was such an outcry from the public, the police had to arrest somebody. And they
Yeah.
arrested those 5 innocent kids. And Eileen, remind me, how much time did they spend in jail?
I think it was 15 to 20. It was somewhere in that area, I believe. Some spent longer than others because then they got in trouble in jail.
Oh,
And yeah, and then picked up charges in
Yep.
jail.
you let you lose your good time.
So it was horrible. But also look at the Innocence Project.
Yes.
They've been releasing, people, because of a psychic. You know what I mean? Said
Right.
that this person did it and spent upwards to 40 years in jail. Even among us, there's tons of them.
I'd love to work on a project like that because I think it would be fascinating to uncover the truth about somebody who has been wrongfully convicted. That, to me, that would be the ultimate project to work on.
Yes, can we create a nonprofit in Lowell, Regina?
Hey, let's talk. Let's
All
talk.
right, I like it.
Okay.
Speaking of innocence and all, the defense attorneys are still out on strike?
Yes, they are, because I know for a fact that some people with some very serious charges have had to be released because they can no longer be held by law.
Where is the media talking about this?
They're not.
Crickets. They've been
Right.
told, don't talk about this.
And John, the scary thing is, and you're 100% correct, that when I say very serious charges, I'm not talking about jaywalking or drinking in public or
Drunk
selling
driving,
drugs.
rape, murder.
Yes, thank you. That's absolutely
Yep,
what,
including murder.
yes, including murder. And they're walking the street now because they've gone past their 120 days, and they can no longer be held, and they are.
Nobody asked the governor.
And no, well, they might be asking her, she's no comment.
They're not asking her.
You
A
know,
couple months ago they did,
right.
but now it's all
Can
gone
you
quiet.
hold your breath that long?
I think it's shameful that she spent $4 million, but she will not pay these defense attorneys the money that they're worth. It's shameful. Because, Maura Healy, now those people, statistically speaking, one of them will go back out and commit another crime. And it's, in my opinion, that's on her. It's on her. It's on the person who commits the crime, but
Yeah.
it's also on her. Pay these defense attorneys the money they are worth. They are doing a service for every single Massachusetts resident. Every single Massachusetts resident. And pay them what they're worth. It's amazing when New Hampshire is paying their defense attorneys more money than we are in Massachusetts. Because
Yeah.
New Hampshire pays nothing. But they're paying these people they're like $210 per hour. You know, a regular defense attorney charges $400, $500 an hour. So I think it's shameful that we cannot raise their pay to the amount of what they are worth. It's very unfortunate. But some people are, yes, getting released from jail.
The taxpayers want to see this happen, but why do the people who are in charge of the taxpayers' money blow the money elsewhere?
You're right, John. Right.
Well, this sort of flows down from cashless bail,
Yes, it does.
not holding people accountable.
Right. It absolutely flows
we-
down from cashless bail.
We had that young Ukrainian refugee down in the Carolinas
Mhm.
stabbed to death on a transit car. He had been arrested 40-some times.
Right.
And the woman out in Chicago who had gasoline poured all over and got lit off. That perp had been arrested 70 times. But we're going to do away with the police. And we're not going to pay defense attorneys.
Just ask Mamdani about what he's going to do. Now, didn't he just hire a consultant who wrote a book about eliminating police departments?
Yes.
Very scary to me, because I'm packing my bag and I'm moving out of New York because
People that are right there.
I'm not going to feel safe in New York. Absolutely not. I'm not going to feel safe in New York.
No.
Because this is and now what if you own a home or a condo in New York? You're never going to be able to sell it, because who wants to move into New York? I don't.
Well, yeah. So you can't sell it because everyone's moving out, people aren't moving in.
Right.
And a lot of business in New York, financial business, Florida, Texas are courting that business.
Oh, did you see, it was a big firm that just left New York and right down to Texas. And Texas says, come on down, welcome you with open arms, come on down. Housing is cheap, the weather's great, come on down, we'd love to have your business. And that's what's happening. What about the two companies that just left Massachusetts and went to where, Cliff, where'd they go? New Hampshire.
Oh, no, I didn't notice this one.
500 employees between the two companies. Last week, both announced, goodbye Massachusetts, hello New Hampshire. And both of them said, well, we don't like the taxes. We don't want, we don't want, the business climate in Massachusetts is not good. We want out of here. And so we're going to New Hampshire. And both of them, it's interesting, both of them just went to Salem, which from Lowell is it's a half-hour drive at best.
From Lowell, it's better than driving to Boston.
Absolutely. It's a half-hour drive. It's right up the street. So both these companies, between the two, there are 500 employees, and they've left and they've gone up there.
Yeah. So, in the green room, we have Belinda Juran, who is the next year's city councilwoman from District 3.
Right. Absolutely, your district.
My district. In fact, we're having both our elected reps here today. I hope Dave Conway.
Well, Eileen is my school committee woman.
Yes, and I'm on my way right now for you, Regina.
Okay.
Okay.
So
If there's enough seats, I didn't realize how many people were
I have
on
to leave at
today.
7:30, but when Belinda takes her seat and you're here, the question I have is, how are we paying for the overage on the high school?
Oh, it just keeps going and going and going.
So you had to know it was going to be over $1 million. You had to know.
Well, from what I understand, we can blame Dave Conway.
Oh, so when he comes, are you going to tell him that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll see what his perspective was.
Okay, all right, but since Belinda is the city councilor, I think it's important to find out from her, where's the city going to get the money to pay for it? Because let me say this to you, when I was on the school committee, we did a rehab of the same building. We ran out of money, and the city wouldn't give us any more. So we closed down 6 science labs. Because the school department didn't have any money, and the city said, we're not giving you any more.
I vaguely recall that.
So 6 science labs never got built or completed. They went to the wayside. That should never happen again, but it will if the city can't figure out how they're going to pay for the shortage. Where is the money going to come from?
Wait, now,
Right, and
is that the same
I'm
as the
looking
lost
forward to hearing
classrooms?
Belinda because
Yes.
she's very smart and in terms of engineering and lawyering, so it'll be interesting.
But here's the issue. Yes, she is smart, but you've got several other people who are saying, I'm not paying any more money towards any rehab of that high school. So, and that's what the city council did to us at the time. We gave you money, they said you mishandled it, you mismanaged it, so you're hey, we're not, so you're out 6 science labs. Not good. Not good.
Yeah.
Okay? Because science is kind of important. You know what I mean?
Teacher of the Year.
Teacher of the Year, thank you.
Yeah.
Teacher of the Year, absolutely. Congratulations, Lowell has the Teacher of the Year. And Cliff, what does she teach?
Science.
Science. Kind of an important subject. Right? Just a little bit.
I'm in the process of trying to tempt Belinda to come on over and join us.
Well, I can move over a chair, and then when Dave
Okay.
Conway comes over, I'll move over another chair.
All
No,
right?
no.
No, okay.
What?
Well, Cliff keeps motioning for Belinda to come
We
over,
got
so,
5 minutes to-
all right. So, Eileen.
Sorry, Belinda. I like you, but
Yes,
apparently
Regina?
John doesn't.
The logistics involved are to great.
I know, I
Because
know.
it's easy if you
Talk to
just
your friend
sit
here.
right over here.
Talk to your friend here.
Okay, so let's talk about,
No. Regina, why don't you read the text?
Oh, please allow me to read the text.
Cliff it.
The FBI never apologized for ruining Jules' life. He died at 44 from a heart attack. Thank you, Texter, because I knew he passed away. I just did not know how. Now, Texter, he probably passed away at 44 because of the stress of what the FBI did to him.
Keep going.
Now, next text. Who's responsible for all the disinformation that was spread during the the pandemic? Excellent, Texter. Thank you. You're 1,000% correct, Mr. McD. The media was asked by, quote unquote, the state to stop talking about the defense attorney circus. The media complied like good little soldiers, and that's from Bart. Thank you, Bart. Next text. Why do these shooters drive long distances to shoot people? DW. Sounds like Eileen showing up on time. Thank you, Texter.
Back over to you, Cliff.
I love when Texters sit because it really helps. It really does enliven the show. So I appreciate that.
so, back to Minnesota.
Okay?
$1 billion in welfare fraud?
Ooh. So here's what I just read this morning. A congresswoman from Minnesota may have some linkages to some of the fraudsters. So one of the fraudsters owns a restaurant, and that restaurant is on the hook for $5 billion of the mismanaged money. And the
Hey, Dave,
congresswoman
look at the
from
door,
Florida, from Minnesota, had her campaign party at that restaurant. So they do know each other. So they're trying to find some linkages between the fraudsters and the congresswoman from Minnesota. I mean, obviously, it's a community that's, very ingrained. They know each other. What I'm so shocked at is that the governor has turned a blind eye to the fact that how many billions of dollars?
$1 billion.
$1 billion was mismanaged in his state alone. It shocks me to think that nothing to see here, folks, nothing to see, absolutely nothing to see.
Wait. You do know who the governor is.
I know who the governor is, Tim Walz. The hand-picked VP to Kamala Harris. And isn't it a good
You
thing?
think this would have come out if they won?
No, never would have come out if they won. He'd be sending them another $1 billion to mismanage.
How much mismanagement do you think happened in Massachusetts?
Well, the governor herself mismanaged $4 billion. Just within the past 2 years. That's not even talking COVID money. I don't know. Do you know how much COVID money she mismanaged? Because that's not coming out.
Swept under the carpet. When you go to Logan Airport and you look up at a parking garage that's loaded with state vehicles, they have a garage down there, only has state vehicles in it
Okay.
at the airport. Where is a more prime piece of real estate than the airport? And why do we keep all the state cars in the garage there? Crickets. You're never going to find out.
When we could be putting flyers in that garage and getting revenue from the
Flyers?
people who are flying.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
And we could be getting revenue from people who are
Morning, David.
who are going on their merry way in a plane. I don't know the answer to that, John.
We're going to go to break. We'll
Okay.
be back. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to City Life Show. I'm Cliff Krieger, your host. To my left is Eileen Delrossi, my co-host, Lowell School Committee member. To my immediate right is my neighbor Belinda Juran, City Council elect member. Just made her way through a recount, the only one in this last election. Dave Conway, who's been my school committee guy for a pretty long time. How long have you been on the school committee, Dave?
12 years, 14
Yeah.
years.
A mix between, right? A mix between city council and school committee.
Yeah, that's right.
And then-
City council for 4 years. 4 years, yeah.
Yeah. And then way over there on the far side is Regina Faticanti, who used to be on the school committee
Absolutely.
and presently works for the county lockup
Yes, yes.
and teaches school.
And teacher school.
Yeah.
Yep, cool.
Well, that's good. So, since we have 3 current or former school committee people here, have we looked at the supposed efforts to give us a graduation requirement for high school? I don't know if the producer, John McDonough, saw it, but when I read the article in the Boston Globe, they were very specific about financial literacy. It's just that I wasn't sure if that was everyone or just people going to college. But,
It should be everyone. So, I teach at
Not
North
in
Essex,
Massachusetts, nobody stays back.
and I teach early college. So I actually bring a couple of guys in from Enterprise Bank. And they come from the Enterprise Bank in Lawrence, and they come in for one class, and they talk about financial literacy. How to open a checking account, how to open a bank account. And they have programs like Dress for Success. My students can go over there, they'll help them write a resume, they'll help them with interviewing skills. It's terrific. They do wonderful things. I'm hoping that now that the bank has been bought, they will still do those things. But because they don't have a financial literacy class, these young people are getting ready to graduate. And it's funny because I asked, what does your family do with money? And one of my students said, my father puts it under the mattress. Because people don't know what to do with money. Because there is no understanding about financial literacy. So I thought, okay, my niece works for Enterprise, now the new bank. I said, can you give me a couple of names? She sent these 2 guys over to my way, and they were wonderful.
That's
And my students said, that, okay, let's start a checking account. Let's put $10 away every month in an IRA and this, and because it's necessary. It's necessary, and you got to do it at this age.
very true. You're building your own curriculum over there, huh?
Have to.
Right?
Right.
Is it sociology? Is that the
It
class?
is sociology, but it was, so we talked about, so it was the discussion on political movements. And so I just wound in political movement, financial movement,
Very
right?
Yeah.
So,
Very cool.
yeah.
So earlier this week, I've been on an organizing cleaning mission, and I found my
You need to drag the
records. Sorry, I found my old records from like first grade
Oh, wow.
on.
That's great.
I was honestly looking to see if I could have an undiagnosed learning disability.
well, I'm not a professional, but it's diagnosed.
No, but it was interesting looking for like over time. But I want to bring it in so I can show you guys, like, it was conduct, effort, written language. It wasn't confusing like the
Right.
report cards
Oh.
are today. They're very confusing, and I know in Methuen it was like a P or an N, and it's just, it was A, B, C, or D. Like,
Right.
those were the grades, and then you had your MAT score testing. The Massachusetts, Massachusetts Academic Achievement Testing, I believe it was, right? And you had your scores for that, and your PSAT scores were on there, and your SAT scores were on there.
wow.
We won't look at that.
Oh. That's
But-
amazing that you're so organized to be able to find all that so
Wow.
easily. That's impressive.
Regina, would you read these? We can catch up
I
on
think
these
my Aunt
texts.
Midge.
Absolutely. Respectfully, teaching kids about life outside of school is the responsibility of the parent, not the school. You know, folks, it is, but when parents don't know that stuff, then you can't leave kids behind. You just can't, right?
I bet you he's the richest guy you ever met, too. Bet you he's got money falling out of his pants pocket. That's how rich that
Can't
guy
leave
is.
kids behind.
Please continue.
The citizens of Lowell will absorb the cost of the Lowell High project. A question I have is, what will the overage be on this Gen Doc school when that debacle is finished? That came from Jay. Will any counselor in the city have the guts to say, hey, let's get a handle on the budget, or will it increase year after year? Accountability. Why does that shock you? He is part of the problem. D.W. So I guess
Back to you, Cliff.
the question is,
Who's he?
who's
Yeah,
going
I
to
know.
play, who's he, but
That's
who's
okay.
going to pay for the,
We're not gonna ponder on that. Back to Cliff.
who's going to pay for the Lowell High overage?
We are.
Okay, so, John, I sent you a URL that I came across this weekend that talked about, you can find out what your new assessment is. My assessment is now about 5 times what it was when I moved here 31 years ago.
And that's
Mhm.
where generational wealth comes in.
Yes.
Well, yes.
Absolutely.
And that's very important. But anyway, if you go to the Lowell website, you can find the number, and you get a little 5-page printout in small print, so obviously not for us older people. But
So this
it
is,
was really easy. It was about 2 clicks in my address, and
the
pop right up.
GIS system, the Geographical Information System,
Yeah,
right? That's where it takes you, and you just put in the number of your house, the street you live on, and it
So what's it
brings up
gonna give, the taxes, is that?
the most current evaluation.
Yeah, it's the assessment, not the tax rate. That hasn't been
Yeah.
set yet, because that was on the website that you pointed us to.
yeah.
Cliff, they have that,
Yeah.
the actual tax that you have to pay, because that will all be, the fact that the house assessment went up doesn't mean that your taxes will necessarily go up in the same proportion.
really?
Well, because houses go up at different rates,
Right.
and it's gonna be sort of reallocated across the.
Mine keeps on going up, I don't know.
Well, I didn't mean, yeah, I'm not saying, I'm just saying it may not be proportional.
So
Different
Yeah,
neighborhoods
yeah,
have
probably,
different.
yeah, you're probably right.
different,
yeah.
The short URL is loma.gov.
Cliff, I got the 2 URLs finally that you
Oh,
sent me.
okay.
Which one you want? The top of the body? You want them both?
Both.
At the same time, there you
I'll shrink this one up to fit on the screen. I gotta hit the minus sign a bunch of times. What would you like me to do here?
Is there a link to it? I think it was the second one.
No, I think let me just see, it was Lowell Assessments, I think is where you went, under
Yeah.
accessing your assessment, right there.
Yeah.
And that's where you can type in,
Go the blue
Cliff's
button on the
address.
right. Blue button on the right,
Yeah.
and there you are.
I'll put my house in here?
Sure.
There we go.
Wow, you're doing all right, bud.
My house is worth $1.9 million.
Wow.
Good for you.
Look at that.
I don't believe them.
Can we
Put
check?
mine in, put mine in if you don't mind. You know,
I think, actually, I think John has
Oh,
to put
John?
it in,
Oh,
yes.
David, what's your address?
528 Andover Street.
Can we check school building prices? Like
No.
city buildings?
843, David.
Okay.
I mean, I think if you look at the Zillow estimates, you'll see they're in that
Too.
range, so that, it's easy to do that too, and look on Zillow and see what they think houses are worth.
Right,
Yeah.
right. yeah.
So it's
There's
probably
two
in
or
that
three
range,
different-
yeah. But I mean, it's in the ballpark.
So does this include, does that include only this house, John, or does it include the property, like the funeral home as well?
Not the funeral home, no,
Just this property?
just this.
Okay, all right, interesting.
I can look up the funeral home too.
But you got a garage. That makes it worth a lot
I
more.
know. It's the house down back too.
I don't have a garage.
I don't know if it's the pavilion though, the big garage. I don't know if that's in there. I don't know what land piece that's on.
Oh,
There's
I
4
see.
pieces of land here.
Oh, interesting.
So anyway,
We got like 4 acres, so it's a lot of.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
cool.
you can
Wow,
find
that's
out what the bad future
McDonough
is
Island.
in terms of taxes. But then, the city council has to vote the new tax, right?
It will, yeah, that's not, is that, yeah.
And today, on the front page of the Lowell Sun, below the fold, all about getting the high school renovation finished and paying for it.
Cliff, did you want any more out of those links, or are you all set now?
Oh.
If you could just put up
Yeah, I
on the
saw that
screen the
one.
links
No, yeah.
themselves, not what they go to, but those 2 URLs, for a couple of minutes, people can copy them down, and then I'll be happy.
All right, everybody looking for that.
You had them up there before.
I know
Yeah,
I
how's the
did,
headline read, Dave?
I know I did. But
Which
see,
one?
Cliff,
City bids
God
out
bless you.
school
There are
security.
3 ways you can send me something, and you utilize all 3.
Yeah.
And I look for
Yeah.
stuff, Facebook ain't there. Then I go to your text message, ain't there. Then I go to your iCloud, and it might be there.
Okay.
He's got ways to get in touch with you all over the place.
Well, there's 3 places to look. And it's like the shell game. You pick up, well, it ain't there. It ain't there. Why, it was up there a minute ago.
He gets more aggressive if he doesn't get a reply. He'll start maybe with an email, then it goes to a text, then he gets into your
It's all
messenger.
good stuff, it's just sometimes difficult to find.
You've done this a long time, Eileen, apparently.
Yeah.
Next thing you know,
If
you'll
she's-
see him on Instagram.
She's
So let
not,
me ask the school department people an embarrassing question. That'd be David and Eileen.
Oh, there, by the way, Cliff is the,
yeah.
Why, and there are the URLs that Cliff wants you to take a look at, and just take your phone out of your pocket, take a picture of them, that's a lot easier. I'll copy them down if you like. But why do we, to Eileen and David, I'm gonna ask Eileen first, then David. No, David, you're the senior guy here, so we'll go David first. Why do we promote kids that don't deserve to be promoted every year? Why do we why does the union let this
I don't know if we
happen?
necessarily do that. We've talked about this 1,000 times.
Okay,
The high
well,
school,
this
for
will be
example.
1,001.
Well, let's go for the high school.
Okay.
Are you saying that they're kept back at the high school?
I'm saying they're not kept back in the 4th grade, they can't read.
Well, okay, so
Fourth
you're
grade.
saying that they're not kept back at the high school?
Yeah,
is
if you
that
can move the
correct?
microphone closer to your mouth, we can all enjoy what you have to say.
Okay, all right. So can we take 9 and 12 off the table here?
Yeah, because
Yes.
they'll never be able to read, listening to you.
Yeah, well.
They didn't
well,
learn how to
diff-
read in the
it-
4th
It's
grade.
by credits, John. It's by credits.
Yeah.
Okay? So in other words, one particular year, you might pass 3 subjects and fail 2 subjects, but the following, next 2 years, you pass all your subjects, and I think it's 85 credits now? Is that what it is?
I want to say
Is it
90, but can you talk to what I've noticed a lot is students that aren't really making the grade at the high school currently, and I don't know if this was in effect when you were there. They get to go to the engagement center at the Career Academy, the Malloy, and they make it as easy as possible
I
for
think
that
they
student
try
to accommodate for them.
Why does the union promote these children? The teachers have to promote these children. And we have hired a union, professional teachers, to teach our children, that promote these children every year. Why does the union let these kids get promoted to 4th grade?
I have seen
Wait,
teachers.
wait. Why does the union get a vote in this? They're not elected, except by the
They
teachers.
promote the children. They sign off that the kid's been
The
educated.
employees of the school committee
You can
promote
relabel them
children.
all you want, Cliff, they do what the union tells them.
And that's the catch, right? Because the union and the school administration somehow have to work together. I kind of always looked at it as like a mafioso situation. And then
A
the
bit.
teachers are the ones on the streets and saying, no, we can't do this. And then the
Right.
administration and the union are saying, you will do this. And it doesn't matter what your education is as a teacher, doesn't matter what your concern is, that kid's moving on because of the mafioso relationship between,
But a
Jimmy
teacher,
Hoffa
a teacher has to authorize this. So you're saying the union
I'm
tells the
saying
teacher,
our bosses say they're moving on. I have
okay, you're
seen
saying
it
bosses,
You're
who are
saying
your
the
bosses?
time and time again.
Administration.
Your assistant principal, your principal, your superintendent, administration at the higher levels.
Okay, so the fire chief in lovely Lowell forced his firefighters to drive trucks where the wheels would fall off? Or was this a union decision? Drive the truck where the wheels are gonna fall off?
Well, no, because that would be an immediate
decision was
emergency and it would look bad. It's a physical thing. This has been growing over time and now we're seeing the repercussions of it.
I'm just asking the question.
Right.
Who's forcing these kids who can't read to move on to the next grade?
Administration.
Yeah, administration. And the union
And I think the parents
is
have a lot to say too in this.
I've seen parents go to bat to have their kids stay back and administration even say no. But it's very rare that you get a student to stay back in any district today. Because back, I want to say 12,
So next
12
time
years
I
ago?
enjoy all your company, and I'm gonna go back to Cliff, I'll ask you why you're letting administration do this. We'll turn the page. Back to Cliff.
or you'll get fired.
It works.
It doesn't work. You can't read, Cliff.
Well,
I can read.
I think John's question is, why does the school committee allow the administration to act in a mafioso style to say that children will not be held back? I think that that's the issue. Why does the school committee not put their foot down and say, if a child needs to be held back, then a child will be held back? But John's right. No child is ever held back anymore.
You're right.
Ever.
What I believe is that as school committee, our only person that we oversee is the superintendent, right? And so,
It's educational reform.
and it all relates, I believe, to educational reform in a lot
Absolutely.
of ways. And the laws that were passed, no child left behind, right? Left every child behind.
But
And
you
we're
also
seeing it now.
hold the purse. And that is where your power is. And we've had that conversation, haven't we?
Yes, and Cliff has brought me my chocolate balls.
Okay?
Yes.
You hold the purse. And until people get in line, you don't open the purse, right? And when you don't open the purse, you are now Jimmy Hoffa. Because Jimmy Hoffa knew how not to open the purse.
Yeah, and don't forget, you need 4 votes.
That's the
have
other
to
thing. You need
talk
4
about
I
votes.
mean, you can go up there and jump up and
You
down
need-
all
right.
you want. If you don't have 4
That's
votes.
That's the unfortunate reality. You
Right.
need 4
But-
votes.
You know,
We're
it's just
missing-
like,
we're
for
missing a
example,
point.
when I put in the safety audit for the entire school, which is, in my humble opinion, a very logical thing to have an
Absolutely.
outside safety audit. Well, guess what? I didn't get 4 votes.
Stupid.
You could say, well, I would jump up and down, and I would, well, good, you can jump up and down, but if you don't get the 4 votes, it's gonna go along
Because
with
you
it.
have people there who are protecting the assistant Don, right? And he shouldn't be protected.
But, all right, but at
Wait,
the same
wait,
time,
wait,
okay,
wait.
sorry.
What about nobody ran, well, Dave Conway had sort of a write-in opponent.
Mhm.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that, yes.
Yeah. But that's,
Wasn't that far back.
but nobody's running against any school committee member.
And I didn't run against,
Except for the at-large.
and
I'm
I
sorry.
didn't run because I believe in the value of my school committee person. I wanted her to go back there. So I didn't
Okay.
run.
So, the thing missing here
Sorry.
I think it's the parents' responsibility. And now, I passed every grade through 7th on probation
Oh, wow.
because I was having that much trouble.
Regina, you want to get these three?
Yes.
And we solved the problem because my parents hired who?
Oh, Hester Waldor. Waldo.
So my motto is never let never let school interfere with your education.
I thought she did it for free because she really liked
She
it.
did,
Oh, so you should.
and she taught me canasta.
Canasta.
Read these three, Regina, please.
Politicians spend tax dollars like drunken sailors, 38 trillion and counting, but expect their citizens to be fiscally responsible. Give me a break. They're a bunch of hypocrites. Next text. Could it be the state won't pay for repeats? That's very possible. That's very you know something? Very possible. Next text. Kids don't stay back because it doesn't look good for the teachers. Very possible. Is there a report card for teachers? Well, the report card for teachers is the review that their principal gives them.
The evaluation.
The evaluation,
it's all in
right.
Teach Point. Year after year, you have to develop student goals, professional goals for yourself, and they're monitored throughout the year in Teach Point. From my experience, if the principal likes you, you're good. If they don't, you're not good.
Right.
And that's how Lowell has always kind of worked as well. So, I mean, teachers do have report cards. Student report cards get moved along, and like the comment about maybe the state does not pay for repeats is very true, because this is all linked to federal and state laws that were passed,
Right.
that we cannot, as school committee people, say, we're going to hold your purse strings. We can't, or everything will stop.
So let's take a break and focus on Teacher of the Year. Mass has a Teacher of the Year, and it's Tara Goodhue, a science teacher at Lowell High. She received the honor, recognized during a ceremony at the Reddick Athletic Center Tuesday morning, so that was a long time ago. She thanked Secretary of Education Patrick Titweiler and Education Commissioner Pedro Martinez. And I would suspect she should be thanking the administration here for putting her name forward. But that's pretty good. Top teacher in Massachusetts going to the national competition.
Yeah, exciting.
Congratulations to
Yeah.
her.
Really
Absolutely.
wonderful.
Congratulations.
That's amazing.
So I wanted to get that in before Regina has to go do work.
Thank you very much, Cliff. I appreciate that. And she's a science teacher,
Yeah.
which makes me feel wonderful, considering when we did our rehab of the high school, we eliminated 6 science classrooms because we didn't have the money. So I'm
Regina, we'll
gonna,
do announcements when you go.
pardon me?
When you leave, we'll do announcements.
Okay. I'm gonna leave, want me to go now?
No, you
No,
can.
stay forever.
Oh, it sounded like.
Because you can do the announcements now.
Oh.
I got 3 minutes. So I guess the question is, how are we going to pay for the rest of the high school? And as Cliff just said, without the lost classrooms. Right?
So first, could I ask, when was that rehab that you were involved with?
So I was on the
Regina?
school committee from 86 to 24 years.
Uh-huh.
And so it was in the 90s.
Mhm.
And we just ran out of money.
Mhm.
Now, we ran out of money because this took too long and this took too long and this, so we had to have, so we ran out of money and it was, so let's go back to the city and ask them to give us more money for these 6 science labs. And the city said no.
Mm.
So, and Dave was at the high school then, no 6 science labs.
Yeah, we actually had double sessions, I believe, that time, too.
Right,
Yeah, double sessions.
double sessions, just to get kids through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was how it was in my
Right.
high school, we had double sessions.
Right.
Yeah.
because it was,
terrible.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I actually
This
didn't
would've
mind
been
double
a month.
sessions,
We've
but,
gone through, I think
I
I've
had
gone
that
through
for a
three
year,
of
too.
the, three new constructions and rehabs and so forth, so I'm used to it.
I think I've only had to go through one, and I just, it's not my favorite thing to do, because I think that when you slap lipstick on a pig, the underneath is still a pig. Now, that's a beautiful building. I
22 building?
I still
Yeah.
believe the high school should be downtown, and there are lots of reasons. If you talk to UTEC, UTEC wants the high school downtown, because downtown is gang-free territory. No gangs downtown, and all gangs know that, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate UTEC putting a finger on that. Thank you, UTEC. Kids can come from any neighborhood,
Yeah.
and downtown is neutral. So it's not Belvedere, it's not the Highlands, it's not blue collar in Centerville, it's
Well, everyone has access
Yeah.
to
right,
it.
access,
That's the
right.
thing.
Buses come in, kids walk it, kids drive, I like it. So I really like the high school downtown. I just don't think it should have been downtown where it is.
well, that's
It could have been
interesting.
a new build downtown.
Where do you think that could have been? I'm just curious.
So it could have been in a mill area.
Oh, that's
that-
interesting.
that now is no longer accessible, right? So it just.
That train is already left.
I
so
know
we
that-
did-
No,
we have
I
to
know.
deal
Well,
with
that's
that.
just curious, but I just wanted to get
It could
your
have been,
insight.
but,
Yep.
that train, you're right, that train has left, and we no longer, but it was accessible when we were talking about putting, what we were gonna do at the high school. I didn't think the high school should be in a neighborhood. Now, I understand why people wanted it to go out to the Belvedere, because we have the fields out there. And so people go to high school out there, and the fields are there, and I do get that.
Yeah, a lot of the female sports had to go in different parts of the,
Yeah.
different
Right.
parts of the city.
Right.
so-
Missing
Exactly.
all this discussion is the fact that the high school's too big. We should have two high schools. That never really came up in the discussion.
No, it did not, it never came up.
But based on my own personal high school experience.
Cliff, no matter how hard we try, we can't play the Powerball number from last month.
Very well
I
said.
don't see why not.
Yeah,
Well,
why not?
Well, and actually, I went to what was then the largest high school in New York City, 5,500 students in an old building. We
That's
were
a
on
lot of
split
kids.
shifts.
So that's big.
That was big, but I thought worked well, because you had everybody from the, most remedial classes to the highest honor classes, all in one space, getting to learn, and understand
Bigger than
each
most
other.
colleges.
So I actually thought, I actually like the idea of a big high school, because, and many people I know of have actually intentionally want their kids to go to Lowell High, because it offers such a opportunity for kids to get to know people from
Yes.
across really the world.
Absolutely.
And,
Yep.
and that's much harder if you split up the schools.
And
or
it
the
has
school.
a lot to offer. Lowell High School has a lot, the Latin Academy. Thank you, Bill Tobier, for the Latin Academy. And you can go to Lowell High School and go to Harvard.
Yes,
Okay.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Can I ask a question? And I was not involved in politics whatsoever when all of these decisions went down. But was there ever a suggestion about maybe not getting into the 1922 building and maybe making almost like two campuses, one downtown with maybe just renovating the newer building, the 1980 building, and then doing another campus?
The 1980 building was in tough shape.
Oh,
Yeah.
It
that's
really
two.
was. That was a bit of that was a disaster.
So we're gonna hold the thought there. Regina, we're gonna say goodbye, good luck, God bless, and I'm gonna go to the announcements, unless you've got.
Thank
something
you.
else.
Great.
Okay, so your
Thanks,
mics are
Regina.
still working
We'll
over
to
there,
catch up
so,
with you and learn more.
if you don't
Thank
wanna
you.
be heard, just shut your mic off. Okay, so, today at Lowell Senior Center, it's the 5th of Friday, they're gonna have Tuscan card for $2. Go over there around 10:30, see Tara, give you $2. If you don't have the $2, it's okay too. We'll give yours for free. Then coming out in, Dracut and Tewksbury. Today's the 5th, they have chicken parmesan. Sounds good, pasta, broccoli, sounds like good feedback, but if you're not registered in Tewksbury for this food, or registered in Dracut, they don't have it for you. So you gotta register a week early to get the food and drink it in Tewksbury. So just give them a call, make a reservation for next Friday, and they'll be sure to accommodate you. Out in charming Chelmsford, they have baked salmon today. Rice, broccoli, pudding. Now, you don't have to live in Chelmsford to go have lunch there. It's a federal program. You can live in Timbuktu. They're gonna feed you. So, just whatever lunch you like, head out there and get it. Today, Stevie Panagiotakis is having this party at the Blue Shamrock tonight from 5:30 to 8 p.m. 105 Market Street. Bye, Regina.
Bye.
And starts at 5. Bring down an unwrapped toy or bring down a check. And if you can't make it, Stevie sent me this announcement with his address on it. Take your fancy phone out of your pocket and go take a picture of this. But you can send checks to 138 Highland Ave, Unit 5, Lowell, Massachusetts. It's right here. So, and the checks are made out to Sun Santa fundraiser. And it can be sent to Steve Panagiotakis, 138 Highland Avenue, Unit 5, Lowell, Massachusetts. And there's a little note there from Steve. Moving right along, we got St. Michael's Church over in Centerville. They're having a holiday fair. A lot of tables of good stuff. That's tomorrow, December 6th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Free admission, free parking. Plenty of things that they're going to have: raffles, food, bake sale stuff, candy table, much more. If you have any questions, you're free to call Pauline. Her phone number's right here. And just give Pauline a call. She'll give you some more information. St. William's Christmas Fair is also going to be, that's Sunday, December 6th, from 9 to 3 p.m. Good time to be had by all. So head out to Tewksbury's St. William's Church. And the very next building, going towards Wilmington, is their school. And the school is loaded with this Christmas extravaganza. If you like a Christmas fair, this is the one to go to. Fantastic time. And then on December 7th, now this looks to be, is December 7th on Monday?
No, that's.
Sunday, okay, Sunday. So, sorry, that makes the Tewksbury thing, that's Saturday, not Sunday. The annual Christmas holiday prelude is going to be December 7th, 4 to 6 p.m. on the Chelmsford Town Common. Everything's free, even the hot chocolate. So consider heading over there. They're going to light the Christmas tree. Good time to be had by all in Chelmsford Center on December 7th. Sunday, December 7th, at the Immaculate Conception Church, they have a New England Tenors. A lot of ear candy going to happen over there. It's free for this, plenty of parking outside the church, but they want you to text or call this guy, Mike Fay. Just tell him you're coming. And if you and your arm chum are going, just tell him 2 people are coming. They just need a number, that's all. And Rodney Elliott's having a party coming up on December 11th, 5:30 to 7 p.m. at the Worthen House Cafe, 141 Worthen Street in lovely Lowell, Massachusetts. Hope to see you over there. Holiday dinner this is out in Tewksbury, $25 a ticket at the Tewksbury Senior Center, and they have good grub out there, always a good time, beautiful facility, plenty of parking there behind the building. So thinking about Christmas time, December 12th, 6 to 10 p.m. at the Tewksbury Senior Center. $25 includes dinner and dancing. Pints for a Purpose. Come and grab a pint and help us spread some cheer. $10,000 for 100 families starts with you. Saturday, December 13th, 12 to 4 p.m. at the Old Court. And they have a QR code down here, tells you a little bit more about this. And it's hosted by Danny Rourke, the mayor, Chris Dick from Pride Star EMS, and Danielle McFadden from the Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce. That's my last announcement. Back over to you, Cliff.
WCAP's hosting the, tomorrow is their radiothon for the Salvation Army. And
You
Warren
going?
Shaw is running that operation. No.
Okay.
I'm going.
Oh, good.
I'll be there, 10:45.
We'll hear you then.
All right. So, you had a recount. How did that go? Did you think that the city officials treated you fairly?
Yeah, as I stated publicly, sorry, I don't have a cold, I just have postnasal drip.
Failure.
Yeah, the whole process was run really professionally. It was amazing. The city officials, the volunteers, the lawyers, everybody. It was certainly not an experience I expected to have or wanted to have.
Can I just say one thing?
But-
So I was watching, and so your lawyer, I swore it was John McDonough at first, and
That's
then
cute.
come to find out his name was Jerry McDonough,
Oh,
right? And then
Yes.
I was like, "Are you related?" I text him, and he's like, "No, doesn't even know the guy." But like, I couldn't find a picture to even send him to say this is why I thought you looked alike.
Sailors, so we have
Oh.
a lot of
Okay,
DNA around the world.
oh,
yes, I just wanted to share
yeah,
that.
no, that's funny. Yes.
So you're really Spanish, not Irish.
I'm Western European.
So,
That's how I,
anyway.
Western European.
Yes, to continue. So as I said, it wasn't an experience I expected or wanted to have, but, and it was stressful, I will admit. I mean, because you just, having to sort of scramble to do, get people to help and whatever. But in the end, I think it taught me and hopefully everybody two things. One is that every vote matters. And there were so many people who said, oh, if I hadn't voted, this wouldn't have happened. And there were a few people who couldn't vote because of physical issues, and they thought, it doesn't really matter this time, and who said, realized, gee, I wish I had sent in that mail-in ballot or
Those are the
whatever.
people who bought the lottery ticket a month ago.
Yeah, yes, exactly. But now they will buy the lottery ticket tonight, perhaps, because they'll be ahead of the
Yes,
game.
indeed.
But the other thing is that having been a poll worker in the past, in 2022, 23, and 24, I know how the machines work. And it was, I think, hopefully comforting to everybody to understand that the process really came out, the 10-vote difference, which was the case after the machine count and the hand count on Tuesday night, was confirmed. So the system, works, and I think that's really important to.
But
for people to know.
originally, and from what we heard, there was only a 4-vote difference.
That was the machine count. So the
Right.
tape that gets put on the door, which is what everybody worked from with the numbers that evening,
Okay.
is the tape that the machine spits out, the machines spit out in each precinct. Those are all the ballots that the machines can count. There is a bin into which ballots can get pushed by the voter to say, like the machine will tell the voter, for instance, if they voted for 2 people for school committee in Dave's race, when they should have only voted for 1, so they filled in 2 circles, the machine sees that, tells the voter on the display, you have overvoted in race district 2, or I forget the number for you, but,
Correct.
School committee, and do you, basically, do you want to have it back so you can spoil the ballot, do it, the way, you, in a sense, correctly, so your vote counts? Or, do you want to just push it through? Some people might not care that that's the race that they might have done
Right,
something
right.
wrong in. That was particularly true in the presidential election, where people cared only about voting for president, and, if they didn't vote well on the Senate race or, whatever, they just said, yeah, push it through. All those ballots go into a bin,
So the ones, okay, say they
Yeah.
did do 2,
yeah, by
You-
mistake, or whatever, yeah.
right? And it pushed it out, and
And
is it now, and then they said, I don't care. I'm
Yeah,
pushing
push it
back
through,
in.
right.
Is it void?
No, it goes into a bin in
Okay.
the machine, a separate bin. At the end of the night, as the machines are being closed down, there is a button for the election workers to push, which prints out a tape that where the machine did all the calculations of what it could read. any ballot it could read completely is on that tape.
Okay.
Any ballot where there was any issue, where the voter said, put it into the, I'll just take it as is, even though I know something is weird in
Right.
there. Those go in a separate bin. Those are not counted by the machine. So
Okay.
the tape that gets put on the door, and that's I assume a legal requirement, that it gets put on the door so the public can see it, those tapes are what the machine can count. Anything that goes into that hand count bin has to get counted by hand. All the races get counted, because by the election workers at the end of the night. So after the polls close at 8, and you close the machines down, you print that out, all those hand-counted ballots it's sort of like a mini recount. I mean, you've got people sitting there looking at each ballot, each race, for,
They measure things and, yeah.
well, so for they'd say, okay, for city council at large, this voter number 1, the first ballot we picked, the voter picked Joe Schmo, Jane Smith, and John Doe, and you do that for each race, for each ballot. So that's where, at the end of the night, the difference in our race was 10, not 4. And it's because you have to look at all the races in those ballots, because you can't know which one's the machine, on that particular ballot might have otherwise accepted or not. So basically, the entire ballot gets put through the machine for automatic counting, or the entire ballot gets hand counted.
All
No,
right,
you-
so can I just ask
Okay,
one
we only
question?
have
Right
15
ahead.
minutes left, okay, so,
Sorry,
I just
doing
have
an
one.
election law
So
primer
then
here.
does,
Or-
like,
yeah.
do you, Belinda Juran,
Yeah.
and does Dan Finn, that got put into the bin, does that still count? They could have voted for both of you.
So if it was that race, our race, that, they messed up on, perhaps by voting for both of us, then as part of the hand count, the election workers that would be treated, if they voted for both of us, as a non-vote in that race. Because,
Okay.
because you can't tell who they wanted, yes.
Got it.
But, yes.
So it shows
But
you.
so if they screwed up, say, on Dave's race somehow, and it got put into the bin, but it was clear by the time we're going through the hand count, you see, oh yeah, for District 3 City Council,
It
they
was
clearly picked
clearly-
one or the other, that gets put on the list, and that's what it resulted
I
in.
get it. So if I
Yeah.
screwed it up and I voted Dave Conway and Sherry Connor Barbosa,
Mm-hmm.
it would still screw it up for you and Danny Finn's race because somebody voted twice.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, because you can't tell from the ballot the machine will count the whole ballot or none of the ballot, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to tell. You wouldn't want to double count something by
Right.
having the machine count it and then the people count it. 'Cause-
Very
At the
interesting.
end of the
Right.
day,
Yeah, sorry, yes,
at the end of the day,
Yeah.
what's very, very important, and I taught government for
oh,
a
cool,
number
yeah,
of years.
I didn't realize that, oh, cool.
And elections were extremely important.
They are.
Well,
Yeah,
yes, but I think that if, I always used an example of, I think the gentleman's name was Conway, and I think he was running for statewide election, and he figured he had it won with no problem at all. So he and his wife took a little vacation.
Oh,
Neither one of them voted,
oh,
and he lost by one vote.
wow,
So I used to bring that example up. I had the details
Yeah,
back a number of years ago. But I think that's why back in the presidential election, I put a motion on to have the high school
Oh,
have
yes.
a mock election. Now, we had one years ago, and it was a lot of fun, because we went right back to the roots, and we had every department involved. Like the art department did the posters, the music department, they participated. The
sorry,
math
David,
de-
time is running short, we only got 12 minutes left. Belinda,
Okay,
Belinda, did you pick your mayor candidate yet?
No, I have not. No, I've spoken to folks, and part of, now that the recount is over, I am sort of doing what I'd hoped to start doing back in November, which is meeting with
So you
every
haven't picked it. Okay,
counselor.
back over to Cliff, time is short.
Okay.
No juice there.
Yeah.
There was no juice.
We can
So-
talk later and learn from each other.
As a city councilor, you don't have a paid staff, right?
Yeah, right.
Do you have a sort of informal kitchen cabinet to help you?
So, I mean, I have folks who helped me on the campaign who I trusted in, I mean, that's why they were close to me, because I really trusted their skills. I also am trying to institute monthly meetings with the residents in our district, because I mean, one of the reasons that I finally decided to run was because of the opportunity to get to door knock and meet people one-on-one. And, those connections are ones I want to maintain and get to know other people too. So I did one, of course, it snowed on Tuesday, but I did one on Tuesday evening. There were 2 residents came, which was very kind. So I'm planning the next one for December 30th. From 5 to 6 p.m. at the Dunkin' Donuts on Rogers Street. Hopefully, I think that means it'll snow that day, perhaps, so let's see. But hopefully not, so, and, just basically keeping in touch both with residents, but lots of people that I trust to get to, learn from them. I mean, one thing I hope people came to know about me throughout this process is that, I'm not someone who just sort of like jumps onto an answer and says yes or no, that these issues are complex and we need to get a lot of perspectives on them,
Okay.
including yours, Cliff. I would appreciate that.
Good luck.
Oh,
I'll be right back.
okay.
So, Dave, the big issue for schools is, are we going to be able to fund the school? Is that it?
Well, I hope so. We'll see
And-
what the city council does.
How much do
They
we
vote,
need?
didn't they, there was a vote, it was,
Yeah, there was
that's a little confusing with that vote.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happens on that. Maybe could you enlighten us a bit on
So-
that as far as the legalities? I was wondering, can we bring that vote back up, because there were a couple people that were missing?
Yeah, and I don't know offhand if you can bring the same, I just don't know enough about the process yet. That's one of the things I'm trying to learn
Right.
better. But yeah, I don't know whether you can bring the same motion or not. And
think you can.
yeah, that's what I worry about.
Well, can't two of the people that voted in the negative, they could bring that back. They could turn around and bring that back up, but I think it's 48 hours they have to.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's the folks who voted against it, because I remember there was one motion
Well, no,
earlier in the year. Yes.
The prevailing side, which was a negative.
Oh, I see what you're saying. That's interesting. So I need to
I think
understand
that's-
that process better myself.
I think they're the only ones,
Right,
that-
I understand what you're
Right,
saying.
right.
I do think I participated in the meeting by Zoom. I thought it had moved all on Zoom because of the weather. I didn't realize it was actually going on in person, but I was
I changed one of
participating.
my votes once. I remember having a vote, and I got in the car after the meeting, city council meeting, and I said, you know what, I made a mistake. And I had a couple people do some scrambling, and I think it was, I had to go down and register that with the,
makes sense.
with the clerk. I think it was within 48 hours.
That makes
To make
sense.
that change,
I mean,
And I think, by the way, I think you have to wait for the next
yes, I
meeting
think
in
that's
order
right.
to legally.
Yeah, I think that's right. I
Yeah.
remember because there was such a situation earlier
Right.
this year. There was one vote where Wayne Janess, I think,
Okay,
did that
yeah,
process.
right.
I mean, I think, one thing that I was surprised at was whether the council members knew that the vote required 2/3 of the entire council versus 2/3 of the councilors who were there, because 2 councilors were missing.
Correct.
And so whether the vote would have been different if folks had understood that, and understood the ramifications of the vote.
Correct.
But I don't know,
Right, yeah, that's
Whether-
gonna be a little bit of a,
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But it
Bundle
would,
that.
yes, I know. But it is interesting that, and it made me aware that as a counselor, should ask in those situations and make sure we're all clear on the rules before the vote is taken, so that the public is clear
The
on that.
smallest little things you don't think.
Yeah, no,
Well,
exactly,
especially
but
something
now,
like that, that
exactly,
was,
exactly,
right,
yes, so,
John said to me that apparently we have another entrance in the state senate race for when, March of next year. John, someone in Drake?
Yeah, Joe Espinola is gonna run as an unenrolled, which I think is a genius move, because if the Democratic Party rears up and gets their candidate elected for the primary election, then he's poised to run against that candidate, so I think it's genius.
but
So-
poised in
So
2026.
hypothetically, Vanna loses. Hypothetically, Rodney loses. So there's the Democratic nominee, who hasn't been elected anything, and we have Joe Espinola.
So it forces a primary between Rodney and Vanna.
No, it forces if the primary is gonna be taken care of anyway,
In the March vote.
because there's two Democrats running.
So I just want to make sure, are you saying, 2026, of course, we're almost in 2026, yeah, I'm sorry, my apologies, yes. But I have heard I thought I had heard there might be a Republican running, but I'm not sure.
Well, Sam Meese
Yeah, that's what I thought,
is
yeah.
running too, so
Yeah.
that would have a runoff if
I
somebody else
understand,
runs for it.
right, I understand.
Okay, so on Monday City Life, we got Cliff Krieger's gonna be the host, Dr. William Johnson's gonna be here, Eileen Delrossi, Fru Neckenbeck, and Mike Smith, that's Monday.
Can't get enough.
Then we got two quick texts here. I thought the pot money lottery gambling was supposed to help its citizens, another lie from the State House. Elections are important, but if the results are the same, then it doesn't matter. Back to you guys, thank you.
Okey-doke.
Actually, just because we were talking about elections, I would recommend that folks who, have the time to spend Election Day as a poll worker, think about signing up for that. It is a long day. You have to be there by 6 a.m. The polls open at 7. There's a ton of work to do in that hour. You then work till the polls close at 8, and then you deal with closing the machines down, putting everything away, doing the hand counts, whatever. I think I've been out of there at 10 p.m. once. I was out of there at 1:30 a.m. once. You get paid $280 for the day, and you have to be there the whole day. But, you get to see people excited about voting, and you get to see the process, and I think that's a good
Do you
thing.
get lunch and dinner, or you have to bring it?
You bring your own. You get a break, but you bring your own lunch and dinner. But it's our civic duty. The other thing is that for the special elections, the primary, if you're a Democrat or any party that has two people running, because I think papers still can be pulled for the state Senate race, for the February primary and for the March general special election for state senator, there will not be early in-person voting. It's apparently the state doesn't allow that for a special election, or at least that's my understanding of why it is, but it will not happen.
Catastrophic waste of money.
So if you are worried about weather or illness or anything else, you can sign up for a mail-in ballot. And if you sign up in 2026, you can sign up for mail-in ballots for all 4 elections. That is the primary, any primary, the general for the special elections, plus the November elections. So Will Rosenberry, the city's election head, has recommended to folks that they go to the Secretary of State's website, like right on January 1st, and sign up for mail-in ballots for all of them, so that you don't have to think about it for, each one or later on. But again, because of weather, I think that's a fair concern with, February and March. You never know what will happen, so.
Okay, so we're down to the end. Eileen, you got a final comment?
No, I hope everyone is nice and safe. There's supposed to be a big snowstorm coming, I believe.
Nah,
No?
maybe in February.
All right, I have false data. I have a false memory of something that I
It
read.
is,
that
it is
we're gonna
6
get a bad
degrees
storm.
outside. It's 6 degrees.
It's too
It is
cold to
cold.
snow, but I don't know. I'm gonna look at the weather again.
But either way, stay safe and warm. It's
Yes,
a good, it's
exactly.
good advice no matter what.
Okay, so,
Oh, wait, and if you're interested in seeing who this RFP could be potentially going out to for this safety audit, it's Thursday, December 11th at
No.
Wednesday, December 10th at 11 in room 60 at City Hall. So please attend.
It's security, the security
not-
systems, not a
Security,
safety audit.
safety, and, security systems.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not for an audit.
All right, I definitely have some comprehension issues.
That's all right.
Okay.
Goodbye, kids.
December 10th at 11 in room 60 at City Hall. So please attend.
Security, the security systems. not a
Security,
audit.
safety, and, security systems. Okay.
It's not for an audit.
All right, I definitely have some comprehension issues.
That's all right.
Goodbye, kids.
December 10th at 11 in room 60 at City Hall. So please attend.
Security, the security systems.
Security, safety, and, security systems. Okay. All right, I definitely have some comprehension issues.
Goodbye, kids.
December 10th at 11 in room 60 at City Hall. So please attend.
Security, the security systems.
Security, safety, and, security systems. Okay. All right, I definitely have some comprehension issues.
Goodbye, kids.
December 10th at 11 in room 60 at City Hall. So please attend.
Security, the security systems.
Security, safety, and, security systems. Okay.